Happy Monday?
Well, happy Monday for them because they're going to listen on a Monday.
Oh, happy Monday.
But it's Saturday right now.
It's Saturday for us. Welcome to Guffanti Brunettes. My name is Emily.
And my name is Sophia.
And we've got Pete on sound, the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Pete the GOAT.
Pete, sweet Pete.
It's been a rough week.
We switched places.
You've been having the best week of your life, and I am dealing with. I was in a full blown relationship, and I'm dealing with a breakup.
Yeah, you went
I was
through
in a relationship for 2 days.
You went in 48 hours. You went through the meeting and terrible breakup.
Oh my gosh, it was awful. I was in a Tinder relationship. I've been loving going. I mean, I've talked about it so many times. I love the dating app so much. I just like the banter, you know, the back and forth. Like I like the
attention. It's
the
fun.
intention. Like you don't have to meet them. And then I like the fact that I could just, you know, like have a relationship in one day and then like, and then I could just like go and find a new person if I don't like them.
Right.
But this one went too far.
Well, you got to be careful with dating apps because there are a lot of people on them that are crazy, especially Tinder.
Yeah. Well, I found a mediocre relationship once, but this one
turned out to be.
Well, this one I should have known. Because we were talking about it a little bit before, like while I was talking to him, and I got major serial killer vibes.
Okay, yeah, I would like to preface this entire story by saying when Sophia started talking to him, she called me. We talked on the phone for like 45 minutes the other night.
Yeah.
And I was saying to her, I was like, Sophia, I think this guy sounds like really crazy and scary. I think you should stray away. She told me he lives on the Upper East Side, and I was like, anybody who lives on the Upper East Side.
You did say that. You were like, and I was like, Upper East Side. I was like, Upper East Side's nice. Like,
you were like, isn't it Upper West? I was like, no. Upper West Side and Upper East Side shall not be mixed up.
You really proved yourself right. Though.
I said to you, I was like, dude. I never call you dude, but I was like, Sophia, I have never once met someone who is from or lives on the Upper East Side and is not. I said either really crazy or terribly boring.
I thought in my head, I was like, you're just being super judgmental now. Because I was like, because you're a West Sider.
I know, yeah.
And you're like, East Side sucks. I'm a West Sider.
And hey, there's probably
like
people listening to this who live on the Upper East Side. And if you live on the Upper East Side, like, you are probably crazy.
Yeah, well, a little bit. I mean, I even saw like the vibes. Okay, anyway.
Kidding.
So I should have known that he gave off serial killer vibes because he was talking to me for 2 days straight, back and forth. Like there wasn't even a moment that he wasn't answering. It was just like right away.
You would text and you get an answer.
I would get an answer right back. And I like that craziness, which is like, I knew it was bad for me. I didn't want to be in it, but I was like, wow, I'm getting all this attention and all this validation and it feels good.
Yeah, it always feels good.
We were talking in the last episode how I like a really dominant personality. And, you know, I guess that's what he was. So whatever. Cut to me driving into the Upper West Side to see him. He said that he would come to me. Upper East Side. He said he would come to me, and I was like, no, I don't want to. And I also didn't want him to know like where I was from at all. But like, I mean, it's pretty pathetic talking about it, like that I did that.
No,
like,
keep going.
Okay, so I go there.
We'll analyze after.
I go there, and then when I first see him, we're like, he has to get in my car to park it.
Wait, but you went there on a Wednesday during the day?
On a Wednesday during the day.
Okay.
He was working from home. He does hedge funds or something. So
flag.
Yeah, so you already know. So we get out of the car. We're walking to his apartment. Already a really bad idea to go to his apartment.
Oh my God.
And he's like telling me about hedge funds, and I'm like not interested, so I'm not really listening at all. And he said like, I was like, oh, are you going to go back to school for that then? And he was like, I just told you that I went back to school for that. What, are you retarded? So I was like,
he said the R word and meant it?
And then I was like, oh, and that's when I should have been like, I'm going home. But I was like, listen, I just drove like an hour and 45 minutes away. I'm probably going to get like a little dick in. Yeah, I want a dick down.
Oh my God.
But I know. I'm like feeling really
bad
about it.
And you went to a man who said the R word, you went into his home. You met him 24 hours before.
I met him. Well, I didn't meet. This is the first time I met him.
Right.
This is the first time
for 24 hours.
Yeah, so I go into his apartment, whatever.
But in clingy texture world, that's like 2 years.
Yeah. So then I go into his apartment, whatever. We're hooking up a little bit. He keeps saying stuff about how he's dominant. And he's like, I'm really dominant. I like to be aggressive with girls and whatever. So he's hooking up with me and I'm like, okay, whatever. We're going to just like get to it.
Yeah.
Like right away. That's what Tinder is.
Yeah.
and he starts like choking me a little bit and like pulling my hair. And I was like, sometimes I like that. Like sometimes I like a little bit of aggression. Like, I know.
Really scary.
I feel really bad. Like the way people are going to perceive me when they listen to this.
No,
like,
don't worry. We'll talk about it after.
Okay, good. So, and then I'm like, too much. I'm like, cause it was like a lot. And then he was like, you like it. And I was like, I like it? I was like, I'm telling you that I don't like it. I really don't like it. And then he was like, sometimes girls say that they don't like it when they do. And I was like, okay, well that's gonna get, I was like, that's gonna get you in a lot of trouble. So you shouldn't think that. Like, that's horrible. And then he made jokes about being a misogynist, which he probably, like major incel vibes. Like he was awful.
You are literally probably talking about the exact opposite type of person of Pete right now.
I know.
Like Pete's face is just like totally disgusted because
it was really bad. And
this is a form of male we have not come in contact with in so long.
I just thought like hooking up with people in the city would be different because they would be like different than people in New Jersey, you know?
Well, you had a different experience. Let's not forget South Africa.
I know. South Africa was great.
Sophia, Pete, remember we got dinner with Pete last week after we recorded. Remember she was like,
see South Africa.
Sophia at dinner was like, should I go meet up with a man from South Africa tonight?
and he was amazing. Did. And we went out and
then I picked her up the next day.
And then I woke up in his apartment. I was talking about, I was like, I'm going to go film a video called Curly Pubes.
Because I'm going to put it out. We shot a music video for my song. It was so amazing because you went to meet up with this guy from South Africa that she met on the street. Well, you met him on the street a couple weeks earlier. You told him to get in your Uber. I think you told the story.
No, it was a taxi, and I told him to get in the taxi, and then he actually told me, he was like, you never paid for the taxi. You just told me to come in the taxi to pay for it, and then you left.
Oh my God.
And he's like, and you said you ran into your ex-boyfriend, so you had to go. And then he was texting me, and I didn't even remember.
Who's your ex-boyfriend?
I told him that the guy that we talked from middle school.
From middle school?
I told him that was my ex-boyfriend. But I don't even remember running into him.
Wait, yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing is a blur because I was blackout drunk.
But it was really funny because we were at dinner and you were talking about meeting up with him. Then you came back and I was not in the mood to go anywhere because John was leaving for LA the next day and I obviously wanted my QT quality time with my boy before he left. And then so like I shooed you out and you went to go meet
I was
South
excited
African
to
guy.
be shooed out too.
You were.
Yeah.
You went to meet up with him and then it was amazing because we had got up finally after the whole episode last time when we couldn't find a parking spot. Then after dinner we find a spot right in front of my apartment. So then you went on the date and then John left early in the morning for his flight. I woke up, I got ready, I got in my car, car. I picked you up from Hell's Kitchen.
I woke up and I had like I had a cigarette next to the bed and a pile of grapes and I thanked him for the cigarette and the pile of grapes because I thought he was offering them to me. He's like, no, you stole that cigarette from my roommate and you took the grapes from the fridge and you started eating them and then you poured yourself a glass of wine from the fridge.
Oh my God, that's
I was like,
epic.
I was really cool and we showered together and it was really nice.
So you've had a week since we've last recorded.
But I need to get my priorities straight and stop dealing. Let's go back to the incel.
Okay, let's go back to the incel.
Where did we leave off with the incel?
So basically you had sex and you were fooling around.
So we were fooling around. He tells me that I like it, whatever.
He jokes about being a misogynist.
And then I'm like, okay, so this is going to be a dick down and then I'm going to leave. And so we do everything but sex and I can't come because I hate him.
Yeah.
So then he's like, why can't you come? And I was like, well, sometimes you just like girls can't. Like, I don't even know you. Yeah. Like, why do you think I'm going to be able to come? And he said, you're offending me right now. I'm like, oh, I'm offending you? I was like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're offended. I was like, does everybody come from your magic tongue? Like, is it just that? Like, are you good at it? Like, and then he was like,
you're offending me. He's offending you.
Wait for his answer. Only the lesbians don't. And I was like, oh, so now I'm a lesbian because I can't come. And then he was like, well, you know, a lot of the time. And I'm like, why are you trying to like
explain your sexuality to you?
I'm like, or
like women's patterns in bed.
Yes, maybe I should explore being a lesbian, but don't you fucking tell me the reason I can't come is because you suck. And like, you should know that. Like, stop projecting your insecurity onto me. So then I'm really pissed off, whatever. I'm like, okay, after like, I don't come, we go out to my car. He's like, can you drive me to the gym? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I drive him to the gym.
What gym does he belong to?
I don't even remember.
Was it Equinox?
No, I don't remember.
Was it like New York Sports Club?
I don't remember.
All right, yeah. Why would you know? Okay.
It wasn't even, I drove
at all.
him near the gym. I didn't go like, I didn't take him to the gym. It was just near the gym.
And you probably weren't even in the headspace to pay
I
attention.
wasn't.
To what
I was.
gym he's
First of
going
all, I
to.
had no glasses on. We know I stared at the lunar eclipse, so I can't see a thing. But by the way, I did sideswipe a car on the way to driving him to the gym because I do that now. And so then I drop him off,
Oh
whatever.
my
He's
God.
like, and he texts me right away. Right
did you
after I leave, he's like,
sideswipe a
I can't
car?
wait to see you again. And I was like, yeah, you too. I cry the whole way home.
Oh,
I had the worst.
Sophia.
Yeah, it was a really bad week. I had the worst mental breakdown of my life because I was like, what am I doing?
Of
Why
your
do I?
life?
I mean, it was pretty bad. It was,
I didn't get the vibe that it was that bad.
I don't
sorry.
really ever show it. I just like my phone was dead and I had to drive in silence on the way home.
How did you know how to get home?
It was like halfway home and I had to drive in silence. It was so terrible and I cried and then I just really had some time to think about like what am I doing? What is my life? Like why am I driving all the like an hour and 30 minutes away to see some random guy like from Tinder? Like
Okay.
what am I doing?
So let's unpack.
Then he starts texting me nonstop.
right.
Nonstop. He won't leave me alone because now he's in love with me. He did mention things like when I was there, he was like, are you going to delete your Tinder now? I was like, listen, I'm not deleting my Tinder. He was like, well, why are you entertaining me if you're not going to delete your Tinder? I was like, this is what dating is. Like, I'm
He's
not just,
already that possessive over you.
he
and,
was
like, needs
really,
control.
really possessive. And he told me how his mother never held him. Like it was,
my God,
he opened
this
up
is
to me.
so
I should
much.
have known when he asked me for pictures of my family and like started sending me pictures of his brother. It was just a really weird situation.
Your makeup looks so amazing. It's like hard to feel
I
bad
had
for
to
you
put
when
a
you look
full
so
face
good.
on to I'm transforming myself into being the woman that I want to be by using makeup to do it.
And you can. That's possible. That's really
No,
a
I
thing.
am.
I went shopping and
I'm
now I feel like a
faking
new
it
woman.
till I make it.
Okay, so you cry and then he's texting you.
So then he's texting me, and I have to.
You're texting me. I'm like, Sophia, block his number.
I know, but I'm talking to my brother's girlfriend who's a social worker.
Right.
And she's like, listen, if you don't answer this guy, and she's the one who told me he's an incel. The only difference is that he's attractive and he's had sex before.
Yeah.
And she was like, you have to answer him. Just maybe you could change him for the next girl, like let him know he's being desperate. Let him know you're not interested. You're not compatible. So I do that. And he's like, can I call you? And I'm like, no. And like, I keep going back and forth. I'm like, listen, like everything that happened, a lot of the things that you said made me feel uncomfortable. I know you probably feel like you're blindsided and I did what I did because it's a lot easier to just give in than to deny you. And like,
Yeah.
I drove an hour and 30 minutes away. I FaceTime with you. I thought I had good intuition. It just wasn't a good situation. By the way, I did have good intuition. I knew exactly what I was doing. I know what's not good for me, but I do it anyway because I self-sabotage. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So I block his number because he won't leave me alone and he keeps texting me nonstop, like saying like, I'm sorry, I'll get therapy. And then he's like, fuck you, you're fake. And he's just going back and forth. So I block him. His texts are still coming in.
That's like
So I have to like
shit.
now for a full day, his texts are still coming in. He's blocked on everything. He's like,
You called Verizon?
I called Verizon and they're like, he might be using a third party app to like text you because I have numbers that are already blocked that like have been blocked and they can't text me. I'm like sitting there looking and I said, listen, I blocked you, so I still don't know how your texts are coming in, but like, please leave me alone. Like, I'm really done with this. Good luck to you. For the next girl, just try and be this way, like giving him really good advice. And I'm like, I don't think you had bad intentions. I don't think you can help it. Like, I think you should go to therapy, blah, blah, blah. And he just keeps going and he's like, he was like, our love is too strong for Apple's technology and like, all this crazy shit.
God. This is like a really scary person.
I know.
Is this not like so fucking scary?
Well, but you know what upsets me? I put myself in this situation.
Okay.
And we talked right before I did this and you're like, Sophia, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know it. And I get in like this crazy, like, I'm just doing it. I'm letting my body just take control and I'm just going to go. And it's like, I know this is so dumb. You're like, Sophia, do you know how upset everyone's going to be if you die? And I'm like,
I did say that.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna die, Em. It's fine. Like we know. Like
I was like, Sophia, this guy's gonna kill you, and if you die, you're really gonna ruin everyone's life.
I know.
That's how I felt. I was like, are you about to really go like kind of commit suicide by meeting this man? I mean, he's really, really scary.
No,
like
super
all
scary.
of that behavior and the fact that it happened over the course of like 72 hours is really freaky. What I do want to say is like, I don't think you should really, you're only going to take yourself to a worse place mentally if you go like, why did I do that? Why did I participate in that? I do think it should be acknowledged that like, we were kind of talking about this before, like, you were in relationships for 10 years of your life. From like 13 till like 23. Like 8th grade all the way up until this year, May.
It feels like I've been single forever though.
Because it's been such a new chapter in your life. And I think that like, I also think this is like a bit more like spiritual and energy based. I do think that when like September and autumn comes around, it really is a new leaf in a lot of ways for people. And it's like a big seasons bring change like emotionally. And like, I think like all summer you kind of
depression.
Well, not even seasonal depression. Like all summer you had this really amazing vibe going with yourself. You got into like, right after you and your ex-boyfriend broke up, you got into like all these like early morning routines and you were meditating, you were doing affirmations and you were being really, really healthy. You got a little sick, but you still pressed forward and you were like working and all this stuff. And then like September kind of came around like, okay, now this is like the honeymoon phase of being single and free is over. You you quit your job and you're like, your job situation is changing a little bit. You moved back home. Like it's been a little while. You like, it's getting cold out. People naturally want to like couple up with people when that happens. And so you probably, you downloaded dating apps, which is like everybody has them. That's so normal. And probably forgot what like constant male attention feels like.
Well, that was 2 days of being on, because I deleted the dating app for like a really long time.
Yeah.
And then I just downloaded it and then I matched with him the day like I downloaded it again.
Right.
So it was just like the first day and now I'm like back to deleting it again because I don't even want to do that. But that's what's so annoying about it. Where I was at in the beginning of the summer, like for 4 months, I did have all this regimen. I was doing so well and then I just need to tap back into that.
No, I'm going to say no to that and I'm going to tell you why. And I hope anybody who's listening can maybe relate to this, who's gone through a breakup. When John and I broke up, for those who don't know, John and I we started dating 5 years ago, broke up for like a decent amount of time and then got back together like a year ago. So when we broke up and I thought it was like really the end, I went through like a couple months where my life like was actually amazing. Like I got into I really went full force into stand up. I started getting booked on shows. My Instagram started growing. Like I got Babe. Like my life, I literally turned it around in a manic episode, really, because I literally felt like I had nothing anymore. And so you and I almost handled it the same way where I was like, well, fuck. So I literally turned my life around, and I've spoken to my therapist about this and other people in general. Like sometimes I judge my current life of like, why am I not like that anymore? I really took the reins in my life and I really took control. But then I look at that and like, I was really suppressing a lot in that time. And like, I mean, sure, things on the surface were great and they genuinely did feel really good, but like, it's not healthy to be manically positive all the time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
positive's not the word. Like there's even though something seems on paper and like could seem to everybody and even to yourself like, wow, I'm doing so amazing. This is so good. There's some sort of lack of checking in with yourself there. And I totally went through that. And I still look back on it and I'm like, damn, I'm not as like hardworking as I was then. But I'm so much happier being in a place where I'm like, I'm more like forgiving of myself and more in touch with like what I'm actually doing.
No, it's like the post-breakup mania for sure. But
I mean, some people like go into a depression. Some people like go into a manic like period of like pure sprouting.
No, I definitely have like a good cry and then I become like my best self because I'm like, I need to. It's like the, revenge body. Like it's just like that.
But a lot of successes are run by
revenge. But I
revenge.
do think that being more regimented, meditating, all of those things were good, but it did feel a lot like mania because when I was explaining to my doctor what I was doing, he was like, you might be bipolar, but I've never dealt with something like that. Like I've never had a mania like that. That's why I was like, oh my God, I'm in the best place of my life. What's going on? But
it's
I
so
needed
misleading.
to be to get over that breakup because I was like, so
same here when it happened to me. Like people I think you and I process that differently. Also, like heartbreak is a really scary thing.
My first rejection,
it was
too.
And
My
so
first
that's
rejection.
that's everybody deals with it differently. And like, I think now you're first having a moment to like actually really reflect on where you are since then. And like, remember that it's only been a few months that you've been in this brand new part of your life. And like,
I know. And it feels like it's just been years. I think I'm just being no, you made me feel a lot better.
Well, because you made me feel so much better last week. Because I feel like when you feel this sense of panic and like everything's your fault and you're disappointing yourself, whether it's with the guy or like whatever I was feeling like however you feel like just so negative about yourself, you need to be reminded of like, hold on, take one step back and just like look at the past few months and like look at where you are, look at what you're doing, breathe.
Look at what you've accomplished. I have to, because I'm getting down on myself. I'm like, look at what I accomplished. And I like think about what I've accomplished and I'm like, why am I not doing more? But it's like, no, just be proud of what you did to get to where you are now.
You literally said all this to me last week and I'm just like trying to bounce it back to you.
I just can't like take my own advice sometimes. I can give the advice.
I mean, me neither.
I mean, everybody's that way.
Yeah.
But I was really, really hard on myself because the day before I made that terrible decision to drive into the Upper East Side, I went to therapy and I got hypnosis to stop being so impulsive, to stop drinking so much, like to start making decisions and putting thought into them. And
none of it worked.
I did the exact opposite. I went home right after the hypnosis and I drank rosé with my mom. Like it was like, what is the point of getting this therapy if like I know all the right things to do? And I'm like, he's telling me,
not doing them?
He's like, it's hard. He always says like, you're really hard, Sophia, because you reason with yourself, you have logic, you check in with yourself, but like you just don't listen to your gut. Like,
I think there is a thing about self-sabotage where it's almost like, let me just feel like what this fucking bad
it's a
decision
high. It's
feels
like someone who's doing drugs. Like, you just want to feel that like, that
like, well, now
like,
what?
It's an adrenaline rush. And it's like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
It's the angel and the devil. And I usually go with the devil.
But there's also
that's where the brain fog could be coming from too.
The devil?
Well, yeah, because when you make decisions, I was reading something about like your prefrontal cortex because I get a lot of brain fog now. Mm-hmm. And they were saying like when you make decisions, it's like cold intuition and like hot intuition. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
It's going to be hard for me to explain this. But like when you make decisions just based on like emotions, it clouds your mind more and you get used to that. It's like you train your body to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Right. And anything you want to change about your own habits, it's going to be hard in the beginning to actually change those habits. That's how I feel. I feel like this week has been me like realizing what I already know of like, oh my God, to feel better in your life, like you have to put work into it.
Which is like annoying.
The worst lesson of life is like, if you ever want to feel better, you're gonna have to try.
I don't want to work on it. No, I'm definitely gonna just tap into the good things I was doing with my mania, but not be so crazy about it because I did like bring myself into a sickness because I was just like so overworked.
You were overworked and you did bring yourself into sickness. My therapist told me, and I've been doing this a lot this week, to start journaling.
I've been journaling.
I
started again.
Okay, good. Wait, I mentioned that on the podcast last week.
Yeah.
Because I had gone, but she told me to do that and I've been doing it. It's been helping a lot. Anybody who wants to do that, do it. I realize like when I journal, I catch myself a lot of the times writing as if like I'm going to show it to people. And then I'm like, I have to stop doing that.
I do the same thing. I'm always like, I'm not going to write this. But you
I'm
have
like
to be
making jokes like so someone can read it.
I do that all the time. Yeah. I'm like, no one's going to read this.
Wait, I had something funny.
But remember, Austin was over and he did read my journal.
He did read your journal.
So, I mean, someone might read it. You never know who's going to find it. I was thinking about when I was getting hypnosis, though. You got hypnosis in high school. And
no, I lied. You're the first person I'm telling.
Wait, that was a lie?
It's a full-blown lie.
I was telling my psychiatrist, I was like, Emily was the one in the audience to go crazy.
Well, because I'm an actress.
And you know what?
That's the first time I'm admitting that right now. When I was 16 in high school, they brought a hypnotist to the school, and I totally made the whole thing up and fooled everyone into believing I was hypnotized.
Do you know what my psychiatrist told me when I said that? I was like, because I didn't think that hypnosis was going to be one of like, I thought I was going to be like totally under mind control. And he was like, usually those kinds of people who do hypnosis can pick out the people in the audience who are going to try and grab people's attention. Oh,
So
he,
yeah,
like,
they
he
purposely
knew
they
to
know-
pick you.
Yeah, because and I put on a whole show on the stage. You know how hard it was? I had to pretend I didn't know the number 8 anymore. Like that's what hypnotists are. They just look for the people in the audience who like thrive off of like making like being the center of
The
attention.
attention whore.
And so he was like, I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. And then everyone laughed and I was like, 7, 9, right? Like I made the whole fucking thing up. What a stupid thing.
He comes
and
every
afterwards,
year.
People made me swear on my life, and I swore on my life that it was
You
real.
were like, I don't care if I drop dead. It's
now
most
getting-
important people believe me right now.
yeah. And now I'm getting all the karma for it because my life is going downhill. Wait, I'm really trying to look at where I wrote positive affirmations a couple weeks ago, and like I thought about you reading them, and I think
I would
it was,
love to read your.
Oh, here they are. I wrote, I deeply love and appreciate myself. I am a strong and talented woman. I do not have to be perfect. I am not perfect, but I am hilarious. Haha.
You can't have any knots in there. You can't put not.
I said, I am not perfect. I don't have to be perfect, but
You
I
can't-
Am, but
don'ts-
I am hilarious.
Don'ts and
Haha.
nots, any negative word you can't put in an affirmation. It's a rule of affirmations. You did it wrong.
Well,
I'm disappointed.
You can't do any affirmations wrong as long as they pertain to you.
Okay.
I said, and then after haha, I said, I care about living a fulfilling, purposeful life, and that itself is something to be proud of. I just bought myself a Shirley Temple because I'm rich. I'm rich enough to take myself out to lunch and dinner. That's an affirmation.
But that's true.
Oh my God.
All of that is true, Em. Keep going. Can you please read this?
I don't want to read them. They're so obnoxious.
No, please read this.
No, actually, now we're getting into private territory. I can sing. I have a good work ethic. I have a best friend who will be there for me whenever I need her.
Oh my God, you put me
Yeah.
in your affirmation?
Yeah.
I actually always say I send certain people in my life positivity. I don't know
And
if that's
I'm one of
mean to
them.
like, I should send everyone positivity, but I pick
No,
out
certain
people too.
deserve it. I had a really good
Love.
week. Can I talk about my week a little bit?
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
So
Ran my mouth for hours.
we shot a music video for a song that I'm so excited to put out. Then I go home, I have this cooking class with my dad. It's almost like the universe heard my cry and was like, let me remind you why you love life.
Yeah.
The music video was so much fun. You were there for
I
it.
loved
We
the
had
music
a
video.
blast. I did a cooking class with my dad and like seeing my dad like so happy and like happy to be there and like asking questions. It was like the most,
nice.
you cannot put a price on that emotion, like seeing that. And then I came back in the city and then I had a couple of days off from work this week. And Wednesday I left therapy and I went to go I saw a jacket that Hailey Bieber wore on Instagram. And I
Married
really
now.
wanted it. She's married.
She's
yeah.
married now.
Well, they've been married for a while, but they just had the reception.
They had the reception and did you see the song?
Yeah, it was so bad. It's so basic.
I didn't like the song. I like Justin Bieber. I like Justin Bieber's part. Yeah, it's not that good.
It's like so lame.
I hope that wasn't their wedding song. Go on.
It probably was. Like he's so freaking corn now.
Yeah, and he's
Corny
also
now.
leading
love
prayers
corn.
now on his Instagram.
I
He
know.
leads his own prayers. Like he'll lead you through a prayer meditation.
It doesn't surprise me that at his age he's been through like 7 lives already. So of course he's now turning to like
and he's
deep religion.
And he's very depressed apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going with
I
your
mean,
life.
imagine.
I don't want to even talk about his life.
No. So I left therapy and I had seen on Instagram. This shows you what kind of vulnerable place I'm in. The camera stopped. The kind of vulnerable place that I'm in, I left and I had seen Hailey Bieber wearing this pink puffy coat and I literally saw it and I was like, well, now I need it. So I clicked on it. I saw it was from Aritzia. So I went to Brandy Melville because I was like, let me get a couple tops. They've got some cute tops.
Yeah.
I went there. I spent $40 on 2 tops and some barrettes. I got
cute.
barrettes.
You
Maybe
look
I'll put them
very
in.
cute with a barrette.
Thanks. Rosette told me to get barrettes.
If Rosette tells you to get a barrette,
Then I'm getting barrettes. She was
Rosette
like, Emily,
barrette.
you should have diamond barrettes. And
Wow.
I was like, yes, I should.
you should.
But I got beginner barrettes. They're just like multicolored. So I got some barrettes. And then I see Aritzia's across the street. And I'm like, oh, great. I'm going to go get the coat.
Because you're rich.
Because I'm rich. So then I go and I get the coat. And then the salespeople see that I'm alone and I clearly don't shop a lot. And that is a prime prey for this predator.
She's going to buy a lot.
So they were like, that coat is like so good on you. It's so meant for you. And I was like quiet and I like took my headphones out and I was like, wait, like it like, right. You see it too. And two women come over and they're like, I really, cause no one was in the store. And they're like, I really like, wow.
Whoa.
And they were like, wait, maybe you should try a size up because it's meant to be like, they said it's a streetwear look. So you were right.
What did I say?
Oh, you said streetwalker. Never mind.
I said streetwalker. That would have been
Never
cool.
mind.
Yeah, that would.
But I thought for a second, I was like, Sophia said streetwear.
I always say something, it's like close, but
yeah.
it's never completely
Not
right.
100%
Yeah,
correct.
it's not on.
So they were like, that's like such a great streetwear look. And I was like, right? And they were like, get a larger size. So it's meant to be like oversized and like streetwear.
Yeah.
So I put it on. I looked so fucking good. And I was like, oh, I really want it. I just like really don't want to carry it right now.
Yeah.
And they were like, we'll waive the shipping fee. We'll ship it to your apartment.
Oh my gosh, princess.
And I think as soon as they told me that, I was like, oh, so I'll just get a wardrobe. So then I started looking around at things. And I'm not like the women were following me, and I was really open to making any new friends at the time.
Yeah,
because I was so vulnerable. I just came for therapy, and they were giving me everything I needed emotionally. So I was like pulling stuff out. They were like, "Wait, what about this jean? Pull out a jean," and I'm like, "Great,
I'll
grab
take it.
my size. I'll try it on." I bring so much shit into the fitting room. I try all of it on. All of it's like, yeah, I would like to have this, not for like $150 for a plain black sweatshirt, but like I wish I could have it.
Yeah.
But then
they were like, well, you could have it.
Yeah. And then I was like, should I get black or red? And they were like, the red's nice. I was like, I think I'm going to get both. So I really
They
just
loved
like,
you.
they really loved me. And once I knew that like it was happening, I just kind of like gave into it, kind of like you. I was like, well, I'm just going to dive head first. Because if you're spending $250 on a coat, just spend, it's basically $850.
In your defense, you never shop at
I
all.
never
and
shop.
you have the means to buy what you're buying. It's not even like what I do because I don't have the means to buy what I'm buying. I just buy
don't exactly
everything.
have the means.
I hit like negative 200 after a shopping spree, and then I have to pay like a fee. Like,
Yeah.
so you deserve to make that decision.
I haven't bought new clothes probably since like March. So
oh my God, you needed it. You wear the same outfit every day.
I do wear the same outfit every day. So I spent $850 at Aritzia, but then I left and I was like, that actually felt really nice.
It's self-care.
Like, it is self-care.
Yeah.
And then I bought myself a laundry cart.
Wow, a cart?
Do you know those carts that people bring in the street? Yes, you do, Pete. You probably see them everywhere. The
gonna
grocery carts. Like the wire square carts that old ladies push around. I bought myself one of those because I'm starting a new life.
Can you make a video with your laundry cart?
Of me just pushing it around.
Please.
Yeah. So then on this, I should become, that should be my new brand.
You're the laundry cart girl.
I'm the woman with the laundry cart. So I buy my laundry cart and I got so excited about it. I took that cart with me everywhere. I put like 100 pounds of laundry and I was like, well, I can wash everything now because I've got the space. So I threw my sheets, my towels, everything, all of John's laundry. He's not even here. I'm like, I'll just wash
You're
his
going to
shit.
wash everything now.
I went to the laundromat. I put that in. Then I take my cart over to CVS. I get some stuff at CVS. I get my prescription.
So you're even shopping, like grocery shopping with your laundry cart?
Yeah, and then I go to Fairway. I pick up some sunflowers. I pick up some flowers. I pick up some...
Carting your way around the city?
I'm carting my way around the city. I pick up some eggplant. I'll pick up some chips, corn, onions.
What else?
What else? And then I go to the bookstore, get a couple books, put them in my cart.
You love books more
Take
than
my
anyone I
cart
know.
home. I love books. Someone just sent shout out to Brooke Alstead. I think that's how you say her name. She works at Penguin Random House. She just sent me like 5 books, and I can't wait to read them.
And you're going to read them all. One
Wow.
book that hasn't even been released yet.
Yeah, she sent me books.
It's not
that
even on
hasn't
the
been released.
market yet.
Oh my God, yeah. So we really switched places because I've had a really uplifting week.
You have a laundry cart and...
I've got a laundry cart. It's right there. If you're watching it, it's that black cart next to the...
Oh, wait, it's actually really cute.
It's cute. And then when you walk around, you literally, like, first of all, you have power because people move out of your way.
Well, because you have the laundry cart. You're always carrying luggage around the city, though, now. Isn't that annoying?
No, because it's neighborhood. It's neighborhood use.
Oh, okay.
For neighborhood errands.
Okay, you're not, like, going on the subway with your laundry cart.
No, you do not take your cart.
Can you put your cart on the subway and see how people look at you?
You could, but like, who wants to do that?
Nobody wants to see you with your cart on the subway.
No, but what's really cool about it is that, like, when you see a stroller and someone, I don't know about you, I'm a little more reluctant to move out of their way because, like, I don't care about your kid, you know?
Well, that you do care about their kid if you're going to move out of their way.
Well, you know how like most people when they see a stroller coming, like, oh, let me step out of the way. You go.
It's like the ambulance truck.
It's like yeah, you're like kids.
Yeah.
But me, I'm always like, oh, all right, I'll move. But when you're carrying around a cart and there's a big fat bag of laundry, it is like Moses in the Red Sea. People get out of your way.
They're going to move their kids out of your way.
They're moving because if I let go of this cart, it's flying into you and see ya, you're on the ground. You better get out of my way.
You're going to be sitting in your cart rolling.
I'm going to use it as a wheelchair.
Roll you in your cart.
Yeah, you just put me in the cart and I will push myself in the cart. What?
We got to talk about something really serious.
Oh no.
You have no nails. You're trying to scratch your legs and you literally have no nails.
Why are we bringing this
You
up?
can't even because your parents...
I just told you how good of a week I had.
Well, it's too good. I have to like ruin it a little bit now. Your parents told me about this. I like went and said hi to them outside my house and they were like, can you help Emily? She's got no nails. She picks her nails. First of all, she picks her toes and her nails, and she has
so mean.
It is. I'm gonna roast you for a second right now.
Okay, good.
But they're literally to a nub. Like her fingers are all little nubs, and if she were to go to the nail salon, they'd actually have to refuse her her service because it's so short that it'll just like ruin her nail.
They're so ugly. They look really scary.
Like, what is that from? Is that an addiction?
Yes, I'd like to add, I picked my nails, I picked my toes, and I picked John's toes.
Well, you've picked my toes before.
Pick his toes. I pick your toes. I pick your. Ew, this is so gross.
You're a picker.
I'm a picker. My whole entire life, I've been a picker.
What is that from?
I don't know.
Is that like a childhood thing?
It is. Like I don't remember a time in my life where I didn't pick my nails.
Can I embarrass you a little bit more now?
No.
Please.
No.
Please.
I don't want you to.
I told you I was going to put it in.
No. You did?
Yeah,
no.
I did. Do you know what it is already?
Do I? Don't embarrass me.
You don't wear a pad.
Oh, that's not embarrassing. I thought you were going to go somewhere else.
You don't wear a pad. I've never met anyone who...
You mean a tampon?
No, you don't wear... Okay, so you didn't have a tampon in, and you didn't have a pad in when I was at my house. I actually had to give you pads. She just bleeds in her pants.
No, that's not true. Can I defend myself real quick?
Well, please.
I had my period last weekend. We shot the Curly Pubes music video.
Yeah.
We drove back home. And I don't know about you. I think we agreed on this. Even when I'm on my heaviest day with my period, I love talking about this in front of Pete. It's always so funny.
Pete's heard everything.
I know. Even when I'm on my heaviest day of my period, I still feel the tampon 24, like all the time when it's in me, and I hate having a tampon in me.
Well, yeah, I always feel it.
I always feel
That's
it.
why I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry. That's why I never understand when people are like, I had sex and the tampon got stuck inside me. I'm like, how do you not feel that?
I'm not trying to faint right now.
I'm sorry, but that's true. I know 2 people who've done that. Go on.
I know 2 people who've done that.
I know.
One
crazy.
of them is the same.
The same person. We have a mutual friend who's done that.
So we came back, and then I went out to dinner with my parents, and right before we went to dinner, I was like, I gotta take the tampon out. So I took the tampon out, and we were about to leave, and I was like, I'm just gonna be sitting at dinner. Like, what am I gonna bleed while I'm sitting? I don't bleed. I bleed in motion. I don't think I bleed a lot when I'm just sitting, unless I laugh or cough.
Oh, wait, what? Is your vagina like that, like tight?
Yes.
Wow. There you go. Now it's not so embarrassing, is it? But like, I don't know. Maybe you just have a really light flow. But even if you do, just that little. So are all your underwear stained?
Pretty much every pair of underwear of mine, there's some trace of period. Actually, that's not true. Like half of them. But
I've never met anyone who does that.
My period's not that heavy, and I went to dinner. I had terrible cramps. The tampon was making it worse. I took Advil. I just sat at the dinner table, and then I got ice cream, and then I came to your house, and I still didn't have a tampon in, and I was like, hold on. But then when I feel like I'm bleeding, I'm like, hold on, I'm bleeding, and I'm around the house. I just go to the bathroom.
But then you have to deal with that. There is blood on your underwear, and
yes.
then
actually a lot of my
I got
jeans,
mad at you for that. I gave you a whole pack of pads.
You did, and a lot of my jeans, like there's some traces too.
What?
I know.
Take care of that. As clean as you are, every time I come here, you're cleaning your apartment. Everything's clean, and then you're just gonna bleed. Don't bleed on your new Aritzia clothes.
I think that I won't. I definitely
won't. Please
don't. I do think though that, but like, what about discharge? It's like the same energy of like, well,
it's not the same energy because blood stains and discharge doesn't.
That's true. Also, will say though, that's the one thing I think I try and affirm out. Oh, I'm not bleeding. Oh, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's not.
It doesn't work. We already talked about that. That doesn't work. You can't affirm anything. Like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You could tell I'm in a negative space because I would never truly.
You would
believe
never
this.
really say that.
No.
Wait. Oh, this is cool. I was listening to this podcast on the day when I was carting around. I was listening to a bunch of podcasts.
Yeah.
And I listened to this podcast about the placebo effect and the drugs that are already in our brain. It was so interesting. You would actually really love this. It was like an hour long. It was a conversation with this like neuroscientist.
What do you mean drugs that are already in our brain?
The chemical balance of your brain.
Okay.
So a lot of the time, like a lot of over-the-counter medicine, there's like theories that when you take it, your brain has an expectation when you take a pill that like this is supposed to do this.
Yeah.
And even if it chemically doesn't do it, your brain would rather satisfy the expectation than deal with the fact that it got lied to.
Yeah, yeah.
So your brain will reorganize the chemistry of the way you observe the pain in your body so that you think the drug worked.
Well, yeah, that's what like affirmations are, and that's what
Isn't that crazy? That's what placebo
That's
is.
what the whole Heal documentary is about, though. Like,
no, but then it talked about how it's really, really dangerous because there are like homeopathic doctors that try and let you like do that with cancer, and it can't cure
I was
cancer.
going to say that's what the Heal documentary is. It is about cancer, but then they did like a statistic, and the people who actually like take the placebo drug, the statistic is like it's so high for the people who take the placebo drug, and they just end up curing their own cancer if they don't believe it versus, I don't know.
It was talking something about how a lot of it more is about like pain and how we perceive pain. So like you could do it with cancer patients. It's not going to get rid of the cancer, but it's going to get rid of their perception of the cancer.
But there's people who take the placebo drug and then their cancer actually shrinks.
I mean, I bet it can shrink the effects because everything, like he was saying,
There's less stress.
There's less stress, and like mind body is not a thing; it's all one.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps us to understand when we say the mind body connection, but it's really just one unit.
Yeah.
Obviously, your mind is in your body.
Yeah,
it's part of your body.
It's spirit.
It's spirit, but it was really interesting hearing how like a lot of the times like lower back pain or just like random pain, you know how I was talking for a while, you've got this chest pain now, a lot of
Anxiety,
pain is just because of like current chemistry imbalance in our brains. And like if you can it was funny because this guy was like a real like I related to him in that he's very logical and he's like that's not real, I can't believe, like he's very by the books, and he was saying like I wish I could be more into like crystals and like general healing, because even if that's real or not, there are people who can allow that to like seep in and they can trust that knowledge are better off because it's actually working, and like it's all a head game. It's not about if it's real or not. It's really about like if you allow it to be real, and those people are much more in touch with like
and happier. People who have faith are just happier.
It's faith. It's really faith. And it was so interesting. I really should tell you guys. So if anyone wants to listen to it, like what it's called.
I would love to listen to that.
It was real. I think it's called On Being. That was the name of the podcast.
Being. So it's like Eckhart Tolle, because that's what he calls your whole
being.
Body as a whole is just being. That's how he refers to you the whole book.
So it was called the podcast title is called On Being, and the episode I listened to was Eric Vance, The Drugs Inside Your Head. So it was, it says science writer and reporter Eric Vance says today's brain scientists are like astronomers of old. They've unsettled humanity's sense of itself by redrawing our picture of the cosmos within our own heads. Vance has investigated the healing power of stories and the theater of medicine, like white coats.
Yeah.
So like the idea of like performing a doctor's visit often makes you feel like your problem's getting taken care of. When you see someone come out in a white coat and tell you something versus the same doctor coming out in a sweatshirt and jeans, you're going to trust the guy in the white coat more because they look like a doctor.
Credentials.
And that shit actually affects your healing process. It was great. You got to listen to it.
This is actually one of those things that I get pissed off because I told you this already.
No, but I'm not saying
for weeks.
It's
for
not
months.
You did no, but
in a different way.
I still can't. I can't fix it. I'm like this guy. I can't tap into that as easily. You can. I think.
Well, clearly I can't. Look at where I'm at now.
Well, no, there's ups and downs.
No, there's ups and downs, but I'm saying healing yourself by saying affirmations and like the placebo drug and everything. Like if you
have been telling me this.
I've been telling you this for months.
But
this is like when you show someone a song and then they show it to you like a week later.
Yeah.
And they're like, how good is this song? And
it's a
like,
little different.
You just did that actually with the Celine Dion song.
Oh my God. Well, no, I should. Okay, so Celine Dion came out with. Did you watch it,
I
Pete?
ain't gonna wear ya.
Give it up, give it up. No.
I ain't gonna
Celine Dion came out with a song called
share.
Imperfections, and Sophia showed it to me a couple weeks ago. But then Thursday, I was recording at Charlie's some songs, the guy who's producing my songs. And we ordered food and we were like taking a break from music, and he always shows me stuff when we're like, he's like, check out what I've been looking at.
Yeah.
He showed me NCT 127.
Oh, I loved
the
that
K-pop
boy
band. Yeah. Superhuman. And so he was like, have you seen Celine Dion's new music video? And I was like, or have you seen her music video? I was like, no. I was like, I think Sophia showed me this song. I was like, I forget how it goes.
Yeah.
We were in my apartment when he showed it to me.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you got to watch this music video. So he plays a music video, and I was changed.
Well, you sent me the video actually when I needed it most, because
Yeah.
it was when I was driving home, and then when I got home I listened to it.
I was like, Sophia, watch this. It'll actually make you feel a lot better.
And it did make me feel, because you see Celine Dion in the video and she's just looking so fierce and powerful.
She's in a
and she's
giant
making all
gown.
these poses.
She's in like a big gown.
Looks
with puffy
80 years
sleeves,
old.
Looks 95, and she's 50.
She looks so old.
Well, she's been
And you could
through a
tell, yeah,
lot.
you could tell
She
she's
lost
been through
her
it.
husband and her
Renee.
brother with Renee within days, I think. That might be wrong. Fact check me. But she put out this music video, and it's, I got my own imperfections. And she's like just staring at the camera with her face could cut
I
fucking
like when
glass.
she's at her
Yeah, that's in the background.
Yeah.
And she's in this big gown just standing and going, and like, you can't see me if you're listening, but
She is the queen of pop, and nobody says it.
of pop?
She's a pop.
He didn't like that.
She is such a pop star.
Pop?
Wait, what do you think that is?
Imperfection? Well, now it's
Imperfections
like
is
updated.
such a pop song.
Oh, The Power of Love? Is that pop?
Yeah. What else would it be? What genre would that be?
Like
Pete, I don't like that you laughed at that, because it's totally
it's not
a pop song.
Celine Dion? She's not the queen of pop.
Who's a pop star?
Beyonce or Rihanna?
But
or like,
what would Celine
Ariana
Dion is,
Grande,
Celine
yeah.
Dion is so pop. I bet if we look her up
Are
on
you
Spotify,
fucking
right?
kidding
You
me
know
right
what?
now?
I'm gonna hold my own right now, and I think you and Pete are both wrong, because Celine Dion is a pop star.
No, she's not.
I mean, like,
how do I look at her genre?
Go here. Well, not that, but now what she is
She is. You said she's the queen of pop.
right now.
You mean to tell me that she's the female equivalent of Michael Jackson?
Oh my! Well, I mean, we're not saying that.
Celine Dion. I almost just typed in Celine Dion, queen of pop. Celine Dion genre.
If you type Queen of Pop, see if anyone else has written it.
Okay, the first thing that comes up is pop music,
I mean,
and
you
then
guys
adult
are.
contemporary, soft rock.
I mean, she's totally pop.
Sophia,
I mean, she's
soft pop.
okay. She's the queen of soft
Like,
pop. Fuck
this
you
is-
guys. What do you think? Like,
You think this is pop?
but you're playing old Celine Dion.
That's who she is.
But what she is now, current.
And you are my man.
Oh my God, nobody wants to hear that. I've been attacked this episode.
Sophia.
Celine Dion is so pop now.
She actually-
and you just looked it up on Google, and Google is always right, and Google said that she's pop.
Okay, we could say she's pop. You called her the queen of pop.
Okay, she's not the. She's the queen of soft pop.
Queen of soft pop. Sure.
She's the queen of soft pop.
She did just come out with this song, which is like electronic.
You know what?
Wait.
This is so pop.
Well, now.
Do you listen to that? Listen to the.
I'm flying
That's like a Zed song.
It is. Well, now, because she's like, doesn't care anymore.
You know
she
what?
lost everything.
I think you guys are wrong.
I will give you that she's
Wait,
pop.
you and Pete always go against me. This is like when I told Pete last time. This is like when I told Pete last time, because I was like, you don't have any tattoos? And then he was like, no, I don't have any tattoos. And I was like, no, I think that's really nice that you just like don't care about the way you look.
Yeah. So Pete stayed after the last or 2 episodes ago, and Sophia was like, Pete, do you have any tattoos? And he's like, no. And she was like, I like that. I feel like if you don't have tattoos, it shows like you don't care about your appearance.
That's such a statement.
But you meant it the way you meant it, and I heard it the way you meant it, and then immediately heard how it actually sounded. You meant that like you think that people who get tattoos like need to dress up their body because they're not already happy with it.
You're adorning your body. You know what I mean?
Right. And so you meant it's amazing that like you don't need that, but you
said
heard
it the way I meant
care
it
about your appearance.
I say you know what?
So
Celine Dion's the queen of soft pop, and I'm the queen of saying things wrong.
And I'm the queen of the laundry cart.
But you can always explain.
I'm the queen of carts.
You're the queen of carts. The queen of carts. Fuck. Sorry, Pete. Sorry, Celine. I don't know what genre you want to be.
I feel really bad for her that she looks that old at 50. She's the same age as Jennifer Aniston.
She's actually always had her own imperfections. She's always looked really old, even when she was 19.
Celine Dion's actually quite the freak, if you ask me. If you look at her shit, she's very different.
She's very strange, and then the way she talks.
Well, she's French. She's from Canada. She's Canadian French, which is kind of like
Canadian French.
But she's really something. I saw her. That was the first concert I ever went to. Was Celine Dion at the Prudential Center.
You went to a Celine Dion concert?
Yeah, and then the car ride home. I was like 8 years old. In the car ride home, it was my whole family, and then our 2 neighbors who were adults. And I fell asleep on my mom's lap, and in my sleep I farted, and woke up as I farted, and the whole car started laughing. I was like, and then I woke up, and then my mom was like, Emily just farted, and then they had a laugh attack, and I pretended I was still asleep, and I literally was like so close to taking my fist and decking my mom in the face because I was so mad.
And utter embarrassment. A fart is so embarrassing.
Yeah, like
especially
10 years
when you're
old.
not aware of it.
Yeah.
If you didn't know it was about to slip, if you knew the fart was coming and you could just own the fart, it's one thing.
No.
But if you didn't know the fart was just gonna slip out, and your farts sound like trombones, so
This morning, Sophia FaceTimed me.
Emily has an instrument on with her ass. You know, you FaceTime me and you had the nerve to be like, hi, and her hair's all fucked up and she goes, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding? I'm like, I'm hanging up.
It literally sounded like, in like trombone notes.
You're like, hey, I just woke up. And I was like, okay, I'm on my way.
That's how you know
Fan
I had a
out
good
the
week.
fucking apartment before I get there.
That's how you know I have a good week when I'm waking up and just farting and loving it.
My farts are always silent.
There is nothing. A fart will never not be funny. I think we've said that before.
I've said that before. A fart's always going to be funny. There's a party fart.
Yeah. Well, I always talk about.
I hate wet farts.
I have this joke on stage where I talk about how women have privilege with farts because if you are a woman and you are in public, you can fart and no one will think it was you. If you're in a public space.
Well, that's true. Nobody suspects a woman.
Nobody suspects a woman.
Except a woman. A woman will suspect. I think that woman farted. Like, I'll suspect that. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to. We're women, so we're not going to
give it away that she farted.
Just the look on her stink face, or where her eyes are going. Like,
well,
if anyone saw.
Well, let me tell you, I was on the train going home from work the other day, and I was pissed because I had to, like, I forget why, but I was like, I was in one of those moods where I was like, I don't fucking care about anybody today. And I was on the train home from work, and I had to fart, and I just did on the train, and I just let it out. Most of my farts when I'm in public somehow are SBDs, or I have headphones.
What's
in
an SBD?
Silent but deadly.
Oh.
Or I have headphones in, and I didn't know that they could hear it. But this was not the case. I knew it didn't make any noise, but it was rank. And I was on this train, and the whole car actually like looked up and looked around like, who just did? Everyone was disgusted. It was rush hour, and I just stank up a rush hour car. But obviously, I looked around and I was like,
the fucking actress faker that you are.
my hypnosis acting.
No, your farts are rank sometimes. But I'm making you feel bad today, huh? Because I need to.
Guess what? I can take it.
I know, because I need to, because I'm projecting it onto
It's
you.
okay.
But after I drink, my farts can, like, they smell like poison. Yeah. Like even my poops, like, they're always like poisonous and like black.
We really can't go
sorry.
one episode without getting to shit.
We didn't do shit last time. It was
We
too
didn't.
sad.
It was too sad. And today
if
was a little
we're a little
dark.
happier. No, if we're happier, I think we talk about farts.
I think that's true. I
Yeah.
also think that, like, I'd like to tell you that I feel like last week when I was sad, even talking to you and being around you obviously always makes me feel better.
Yeah.
But like when you're really in that bad of a place, it's hard to like, you still in the back of your mind go like, oh, I'm still upset. And like, as soon as I'm alone, I'm still going to be upset.
Yeah.
But I mean, knock on motherfucking wood. I'm feeling a lot less of that this week. That's not wood. My head's wood. I'm feeling a lot less of that this week. And like, I want to tell you what you already know. You're only going to get better.
Well, that's
and you're
true.
only
It can't
going to
get
learn
worse.
from whatever this feeling is. You're just going to learn from it. That's always how I try and look at things. And when I'm feeling really down, it's like, I'm going to learn how to not do this again.
I think the car ride home really made me realize that
You have to let it out.
I was like, oh, okay, well, tomorrow I'm going to have to make myself feel better. I'm just going to do my regimen. I'm going to do my schedule. I'm going to read my books. I'm going to do everything that I need to do because I need to feel better about this right away.
I'm the same way. I'm like, well, tomorrow I'm going to do this, then that, then this, then that. And then you get so ideal about your
Deleted
days.
the app. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Not even thinking about a man anymore.
Good.
It's true.
And you can if you want to. And you don't have to murder yourself because you did.
Too much.
What did you learn this episode?
I learned exactly that, you know?
What we just said?
Yeah, I'm going to start being more regimented. I'm going to take from my mania what was healthy, and I'm just going to transform my life.
Okay. Good.
What about you?
I believe in that.
What did you learn?
I learned or relearned by saying it out loud that like, if you want to really get better and feel better in your life, it is up to you to do it.
Absolutely.
And like, you can have all the support in the world, but if you're not supporting yourself, it's like Celine says, I have to learn to love myself before I can love you. I have to hold my own heart before I can hold yours.
No, I learned that Celine Dion is the queen of
pop.
soft pop.
Celine Dion is the queen of pop. Maybe
Soft
that'll be
pop.
this episode title. Celine Dion is the queen of pop.
And everyone's going to be mad at it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Pete likes it. It's Pete approved.
Pete approved.
Celine Dion is
That's
the
the
queen
name
of
of
pop. Thank you so much for listening to Guffanti Brunettes. Have a great week.
Have a good one.
Subscribe, share, listen, like, follow, love, send questions.
We love you.
We love you so much.
Bye.
Bye.